Hello. So I'm coming back with a new video. This is a premiere for me. We have an iPhone 15 Pro Max. Don't ask me why it's not going to the warranty, because it's not smashed, but whatever, I don't care. Apparently the owner said that the phone bootloops. So first thing, I'm gonna connect it to the power supply via USB. Yeah, so let's see if there's any kind of charging or behavior. It doesn't do anything if I press the power button, but if I connect it, it says it takes 5.2 volts and 1.2 amps now, 1.3, 1.1, 0, 8, 1. I think you also see the screen. It looks like it is actually charging. I connected it, so there's a kid here. Let me cover the face of the kid. So the phone is on now, apparently. Yeah, and it just rebooted. Yeah, it's rebooting again. Interesting thing is that, and now it's just boot looping. We saw the Apple logo. It went off, back on again. It was interesting when it booted. It didn't say it's charging. Yeah, so that's extremely interesting. Let's see if it boots again. I'm gonna cover the kid's face. Yeah, it's on again. See, but there is no charging icon here. The silent button works. Yeah, and now it has rebooted again. I wonder what the problem could be. The port looks fine. Let's see if it does something on the wireless charging. So it doesn't do anything. Okay. Yeah, let's start with preheating it. I'm gonna preheat it. There's not much we can do about it because there is no schematics. I have no parts. I don't even have an iCloud locked board. Let me see if I can switch to ZXW. In the phone series we have 15 Pro and 15 Pro US version. Yeah, apparently. So yesterday, it's interesting, yesterday I was looking and it was only the RF boards. We have no diode mode readings yet for the boards, and today I see that the core also appeared. Let me restart it. Gonna switch the camera while I'm in. While I'm logging in. Alright, so we have landing success. Let me take you back to the Windows screen. Okay, so under phone series we go to 15 Pro. There's nothing about the Max, but we have the core board. So apparently it doesn't work, although it is there. Yesterday it wasn't, weird. But apparently there is the bottom board with no diode mode readings, but maybe that can also help. Alright, So let's try to open it. I'm gonna take my tool. I think it's hot enough. Okay, I'm gonna add some IPA just to ease the screen out. Obviously, this was never opened before. You can see it slowly coming out. I am a bit nervous on this because the parts are extremely expensive for this model for the moment. Okay, so I can see the display is kind of out now. Alright, let me arrange the camera a bit better. So there is the phone. What we know so far is that apparently we have some current draw that looks like a charging current. Let's first remove the screws from the shield. And these 3D screwdrivers are really nice. I've never opened the 15 Pro Max before. Well, actually nothing from the 15 series. There is something weird here. So there are some scratches here on the back of the display. Yeah. That is weird. So maybe somebody actually opened it before. I don't know. Okay, so we have the shield off. First thing first, I would like to connect it to the power supply and see what's the current consumption. This would be very interesting. Alright. Let me open the power supply software so you can see it too. Yeah, so I'm gonna start the power and we have a short. You see there's like 0.6 amps current draw and the phone is starting by itself. That's not good, huh? Let me disconnect, I don't know, I'm gonna disconnect the front flex, although I don't think there's any way to get water damage on this flex. I'm gonna power back on, we still have the short. I'm gonna disconnect the screen completely. Yeah, try again. The short is still there. Alright, let me have a look at it because I've never seen one. I don't know where the buttons flex is. Let's see what we have here. This thing looks like an antenna, maybe. It comes, the flex comes like this. It's like a 5G antenna. I don't know. Can this be the power button flex? I don't know. We still have the short. I'm gonna remove the charging flex. We still have the short. I'm gonna remove this flex. I think this is also some kind of an antenna flex. Short is still there. Alright, let's remove this one. Still there. These are the cameras, I think. I'm gonna remove them all. And the short is still there. Okay, let me remove all the flexes. So everything is removed now. I only have the power supply connected, I think. Or maybe it has another antenna connector there. Yeah, so we still have the short. Okay, let's I think the next step would be to remove the board. Again, I've never opened one. I'm not sure if we need to remove the back also for this one. There is definitely another connector here. On the top of the board. It looks like a fairly large one. You know what, I'm gonna remove this first. It doesn't seem to be very complicated. It has 3 Phillips head screws. 1. My god, these are very tight. I've never seen such tight, and this is a very, very big screw. I think it's the biggest screw I've ever seen on a phone. Okay, so I think this is the speaker. Yes. This is out. And now indeed there was a connector here. which I have removed. Let's see if we still have the short. I don't wanna take the board out for nothing. Or maybe we can also look with the thermal cam and see if there's something lighting up here around the NAND. Yeah, so there is still the power consumption there. Let me grab the thermal camera. And let's see what it says. I'm sorry, I'm a bit slow on this, but as it's my first one, I don't want to risk anything. Can see something lighting up here. Well, that's not good, is it? Because imagine that I don't even have stencils to reball this one, and it seems like the heat is coming from below the board. And it's somewhere. Can it be on top? Maybe. It's actually fast to be from the bottom. Alright, I'm gonna have to remove the board still. And see, maybe we were lucky and we have a short under this shield here. But we need to have a look at it at the microscope. As soon as I get this opened. I think I think the back comes out too on these models, but maybe there's a way to remove the board without taking the back out. Let's see. I'm not gonna force it. I'm not sure, I don't think it can be a cap around the NAND, considering the fact that the phone actually starts sometimes. It's a side short somehow. Alright, so we definitely have a flex on the other side. I think I've seen people just raising this one and removing the flex. And the flex has also a plate with screws. Don't see how I could do this. Don't think it will work. So it's probably that I'm gonna have to remove the back. That is interesting. I'm not sure how to do it. Well, I'm gonna heat it up first. Place it on the heater. And I'm gonna look online to see if I find something. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, so I found out that if I raise this a bit, I can just wiggle it like that. Oh, that's perfect. So I now have access to this screw here. There's actually one screw only. There's one screw and one shield that has like a hinge as far as I see. Yeah, so it's out. Alright, removed the connector. So the board is out. I can put this aside. I'm gonna put aside the screen too. And let's power it on again, or at least give it some juice and see if we still have the power consumption that we saw recently. Yeah, so it's still there. Definitely an issue here with the board. Okay, we're gonna jump under the microscope and have another look at it. And I tried to remove the back cover. I didn't force it too much. We didn't want to go easily, so I gave up. And then I realized that if you raise the board a bit, just it gets loose of this of the pillar that is in this hole here near the seam tray. Then you can flip it like that, and you can access the screw. Alright, let me set up the camera first so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, I think that's fine. Switch it to microscope. Oh no, sorry. Like that. Okay, so now we can actually see something. Sorry for the flickering light. You see, it's the ring light. It's going off. Alright, so I'm having a short inspection here, but I can't see anything obvious out of the ordinary. Also don't see any kind of water damage. But what I've noticed, so what we can see on the thermal camera is that something here, well, you can't see it, right? So something here is lighting up. We don't know what that is. Let me try to see if we can remove the foam without breaking it, so we can reuse it, because this is a fancy new phone and would like to leave the smallest fingerprint possible on it. So this one came out fine. Let me put it here on the microscope. I would like to have a sneak peek in that hole what is there, but it looks, there's something that looks like a chip in that area. Right. Okay, let's what's going on with my camera? Let me stop the recording. Alright, there's something messed up with my camera, but I'm back again. So, as I was saying, I would like to have another look with the thermal cam. I'm really interested to see if it's coming from the top or from below the board. I'll open again the software. Alright, but I need to connect the power. Alright, so what do we see here? We have a lot of reflection, so here's what's lighting up. There's actually something, it's not in the shield, it's something below below the connector. I think it's the connector for the charging port, yeah. So that lights up there like crazy. So what can it be there? As we don't have any schematic, we don't have any board view. It's definitely something on the core board. There are some parts here. But I don't think these are lighting up. I think the heat comes from below. Let me remove the glue over these caps here. Okay, so you didn't see anything, but I've removed the glue from that was on top of that cap. I really don't want to manually reball a board, so I'm taking all the precautions. I need to build a stand for this camera because holding it with one hand, it's really not helping. But I think it's definitely coming from below. Can it be a cap here on the top? Can we be so lucky? Let's switch to the microscope. So I can see here two caps. I don't know what they are. So it's definitely, the heat is definitely coming from here somewhere. Let me take the multimeter and have a measure on these cups here. That's definitely not a short, it says 0.9. Is it my multimeter going wrong? .9. Okay, let's put some alcohol and see if something is happening here. I can definitely see something above this cap here, see? But that cup is obviously not shorted if we measure it. So no short there, no short there. It's definitely something below. Oh, no. Okay, let me measure some caps here around the NAND. But this is just a long shot. Definitely not a problem. That's a resistor. That's at ground. Definitely no problem there. Alright, nothing obvious here. Gonna take another look with the thermal cam. Maybe we can spot something, but I highly doubt it. Definitely coming from below the heat. Yeah, and it's exactly below that cap that I've opened there. Let me measure if we have any voltage on that cap while it's on. So we have 2.7 volts. Yeah, so it's a 2.6, 2.7 line. The cap is definitely good. The heat is definitely coming from below. And I definitely don't want to remove the board, but reball it manually. But hey, we need to fix it, right? Okay, let me try to remove the rest of the foamy stuff. Let me put you like this so you can see also the microscope. And adjust the camera a bit. Yeah, I think that's better. So there's definitely something causing a short and probably a partial mainline short. Okay, this one I broke a bit, but maybe we will be able to reuse it. There's another foamy stuff here on this big connector. Right, and another one here. Cool, so it has a lot of stickers on the side. One's out. Second one is out. This is out. Hey, and another interesting thing would be to see if this board fits my heater somehow. Let me grab a 14 board, a 14 heating plate, and see if of course it doesn't fit here. I think it would fit if I would break these two legs. Oh man, this is annoying. It's not looking good, so I don't want to risk to put it on a straight heat plate, because you see here, for example, we have a shield like this one and this one here, and there's parts below it. Then we have this connector here, and they really don't fit. So if we break these two posts here, then the board would fit the shields. I think they would barely fit, yeah, but it won't fit the connector, so the connector will still be see that the connector will still be on top. So I think I'm gonna order a plate, because I think the iRepair MS1 already has a plate for 15, and I'm also gonna order a stencil for it, and we'll resume the job when I have the heat plate and the stencil. Definitely need to remove the board, because it's definitely a short on the other side there. So I'm sorry, but it's gonna take another, I don't know, 8 days, maybe 8 to 10 days till I receive something from China. And yeah, I would have loved to do it. I saw Jesse was actually opened up one, but it's the client is not in a hurry, and it's too risky to do this. Let me see the other plates that I have. Maybe one of them would fit, I don't know. So this is a straight one. If I go straight, I'm gonna lose all the heat transfer, because see how it looks bad. Well, we have this one. This is interesting. So this is for the 12 series, and somehow this could accommodate those shields, and the connector, it still doesn't touch. I still don't have the perfect contact. The 11 doesn't work. Let's see this one. So 12 is the closest one. Like this, you see, it's almost there. But there's a lot of places where the board doesn't touch. So there will be no heat transfer there. I don't know if I should risk it or not for a few days. I'll call the client and ask, and if it's in a hurry we risk it, if not we're gonna wait for the tools. Okay, bye. Alright, so here we are exactly 15 days later. I stopped the repair back then because I was missing the heat plate for the iRepair MS1, I was missing stencils for this model, and I was missing a stencil to reball the boards. So in the meanwhile I found everything that I needed for this repair. Let me gather everything. So for the boards I usually use these Chanli things, but they are not out yet for the 15 model. So the only thing I could find was this built by Amao. I don't know how to read it. It says it's for a 15 series and it has a lot of stuff here. Seems to be magnetic. I don't know how it will work. Let's see, I think you put the board like that. Here. Yeah. It's interesting. Is it like that? Yeah, it is. Can't be any other way. Well, we'll see when we get there. These are the stencils. I think that's the cap for the SIM tray. Yeah, we'll see. First of all, we need to open this and see where the short is, and then we come back to the stencils when we put it back together. I still don't have a Loctite cloud donor board for it, so we hope it's not some IC that needs to be replaced. And this is the Mijing plate for this one, and it says it's for 15, 15 Plus, 15 Pro, 15 Pro Max. Curious how. Yeah, so this fits well here. Excellent. Nice. Right, so let's prepare to desolder the boards. I'm gonna use the same technique I use for the 13, 14, 12 models. I'm gonna set the heater to 230 degrees. 230 and 240 seconds. So when it reaches 200, well, when it reaches 100, I'm gonna add some flux around, and then when it reaches 200, I'm also gonna come with some hot air. I'm gonna set my station to 350 40 air, and we'll help it a bit. And then later we could see where the problem is. Let me set the cameras and everything here. Alright. It's already at 100. So I'm gonna start adding flux around the board. I forgot to undo this screw here. And the board won't come off with it there. Okay, perfect. It's already heavily smoking. It's nothing like some rosin flux smoke in the morning. Okay, so I think we're cool. Let me get this aside. We're at 214, so I'm just gonna add some hot air. And set a 350 40 air with a small nozzle. Okay, is it ready to come out? Yeah, I think it is. So let's lift it off. Perfect. And perfect. Right. Alright, so first thing first, we're gonna clean the this thermal compound. Need a tissue and my hockey puck. Hockey thing. It's not a puck. And let's clean it nicely. Okay, we're gonna leave it aside for a moment and do also the bottom. I'm not gonna focus on the board and the components because Jesse already did a strip down of this model, so we're just gonna focus on the repair itself. Follow his channel if you wanna see the findings. Okay, so now, as far as I remember, the short was looking like coming from here somewhere, this area, and here at this area we have a couple of caps and a small IC. And that's kind of it. I hope I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's try to connect it to the power supply and see how it looks like. Let me power on the power supply. Don't even remember if the short was present. Yeah, it's present when I provide the power. So let's get also the thermal camera and see where it's coming from. Have a good view here. Oh la la, and you see that small IC? It's getting really hot. I'm not extremely interested in that IC in particular. I'm looking if there's any other cap or component that lights up. Before that one lighting up. That's getting extremely hot. Not sure if the cap besides it is getting hot or not. Okay, it doesn't tell us much. Let's see, in ZXW we have you have the 15 Pro core board, and if we rotate it, and look here, yeah, this seems to be the VDD main. Alright, let's take the multimeter and see if we have any shorts. I want to make sure you can see this. Alright, so it's in diode mode. We put a red probe on ground. We have a ground here, and I'm gonna probe one of the caps on the VDD main line, which is this one here. Yeah, and we can definitely see we have a short. It's not a full one, but there's something there. Okay, to be honest, I didn't do a visual inspection on this board yet. Okay, we need to inject some current there the mains and see what is lighting up. Injecting will be difficult with the camera, thermal cam, because I don't have a stand for it, and it's gonna be quite complicated to keep my injecting probes. And what I am gonna do is I'm gonna prepare the power supply for injection. Currently it's set to 1 volt, 1.2. Yeah, and I just want to see how much current it draws. Let me see again, which was it? This is the... It draws like 83 milliamps. That's not too much. I still gonna need a thermal cam for it. That is a problem. Okay, let me try to figure out a way to have the thermal cam and me injecting voltage at the same time. I was thinking that the short might be bigger, so I could use some IPA or something, but it's not the case. Let's do like this. Okay, I'm gonna need to hold my hand on the ground. This is gonna be very difficult. Let me see if I have a point somewhere else that could help me. Yeah, it's gonna be like here. And those two caps. Okay, let's go back to the camera. Interesting. Is still that chip heating up? Okay. That might be a problem. Because as I said, I don't have a donor board. So, if it's that one, let's have a look again at the schematic. Let's see what we have here. Do we have any kind of a short on that line? Let's check. So that line is also shorted. That is really interesting. Okay, let's try to inject also there. We're still at 1 volt. Yeah, it's the same chip heating up. No caps. Okay, that's not very good. That is not very good. So is this chip here that says 37V8. Let me look. Do I have a 14 board? I have one here. Do I have something similar on the 14? There is one here. So let's look at ZXW. Let's get the 14 Pro Max core. Okay, so I have something here, but it's not what we need. Seems to be sort of similar, but no. Okay, so what we can do is, this is the 14, we don't need 15. We can remove the chip and see if there's a short on any of the lines that's feeding it or getting out from it. Okay, let me look first if the 15, do we have a 15 here? If the 15 has something similar. Pro Max we don't need. Okay, so that's the main. 3 grounds on the side, and the 14. How is the 14? Had 3 grounds in the middle. This seems different. Interesting. So this chip here has 3 grounds on the side, on the 15. And this is something for the display, I think. Is it? And this one. This one goes to the other board. Not going anywhere. That's the main. That's going on the other side. Interesting. Where is that going on the other side? 15 Pro RF. 15 Pro RF. So 15 we don't need. It's on the outside, so it's here somewhere. So you have those 3, and then it's this one here. It's going on the back of the board, and that's it. Nowhere else. Weird. Alright, let's remove it and see if the short is gone or not. I'm gonna use 38050R. Remember that pin number 1 is pointing the audio IC. Okay, so it is off. I would very much like not to lose it. This is extremely interesting here. It burned out a lot and managed to screw up the board a bit. Let's see if we still have a short on the main. No short on the main, so we have 0.28, the board is hot. Let's see if we have a short on the other line. Yeah, so no short here either, it's 0.54. What else do we have? The maze, I checked. This one. This line here. There is no short here either. Yeah, unfortunately the board is a bit messed up because this got extremely hot. Let's see if we can save it somehow. Can I use this tip here? It's very, very big. Let's see with this one maybe. Just hope the board is not too messed up. The pads are breaking up. I need some assistive heat here. Something happened with the camera. I don't know what it blocked. That's very bad. So there's pads that are lost there because it was going through high heat. Okay, track is definitely broken, and we're gonna definitely need an iCloud logboard for this part. This is looking very bad. Have a burn track here. And these two are connected, so we can rebuild that. These two are okay, and this one needs to come to the cap here, so that we can rebuild too. This is a bit screwed. Okay, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to stop again because I need that IC, and I need to see where I can find it. I have no idea for now, but we'll investigate it. Right, so found an iPhone 15 board, and I think it has the right chip. I think it's under this shield here, but yeah, let's open it and have a look. just gonna brutally remove the shield. Okay. Okay, so we can see it here, something that resembles this one, 37Z something. Let me see. I think I lost the old one. What did I do? Incredible. Let me look on the previous footage. I'm an idiot. Recordings. Not this one. Okay, 37V8, and this one is 37Z8 to RNI. Well, there's a letter difference, so this is 37Z8 and the old one was 37V8. Well, can only hope this will work too. So the writing on the old one was 37V8 and this is 37Z8 to RNI or on both. Okay, so before moving the chip we need to rebuild the tracks because that chip got so hot that it really burned out the board. You can see here that the situation is not great, and this middle pad should be connected to this one here, so we need a wire here, and this one here should go to this capacitor here. Yeah, so I'm gonna put some flux there and prepare two jumpers, but I need to replace my tip. Let's try to use the bent one. Let's see if it has enough juice. Okay, I think I have a wire here that I can use. I will need to thin it a bit. Let's move here. Right, so we can see here the wire. Perfect. And let's thin it a bit first. I think that is enough. This is a 0.01 wire. I'm gonna just cut a small piece of it. I think this is enough. Keep this here. Right, let me grab it. Alright, so first I'm gonna do the one coming from the capacitor here. Okay, that's obviously too much. That's good. I don't think you see very well how it looks now, because it's full of flux and reflections, but I'm gonna clean it afterwards and then you'll be able to see how it looks like. I'm just gonna bend this back up a bit so we can do the second jumper. Yeah, let me cut another piece of wire. Another one here. Yeah, so it's there. A better angle at this one. Shaky hands don't help. So I think we're good. Now let's see how we can clean this without breaking our wires. I'm gonna take some cotton on the tip of my tweezers, because the Q-tip is too big for that hole. Let's see if we can handle it like that. Need to clean it very well because I will need to apply some mask. use the hand pump. Okay, not bad. Some more. Right. This one is a bit too long. We're gonna need to cut it. Let me see if I can get the tip of my blade here and cut it like that. Okay. So I think this one is good. I'm gonna need to cut the other. This is a bit difficult. Okay. Might have done that a bit on a short side, but I think we're good. Yeah, definitely good. All right. To clean up some of this flux that is here between these parts. Alright, and let's drop some alcohol. There's a bit of cotton there. And it's right on my jumper. Oh, this is annoying. Okay, it's out. Right, let's do some masking. not too much, just a tiny bit, like that. Let's put the UV light. Let's see now how it looks like. I'm gonna add some heat. Okay. This is not very beautiful, but I hope it's gonna be functional, because that's the important bit. And I hope there are no other tracks shorted because of the fact that the board burned a bit. Right, so now we can go to our new chip and extract it. Where was it? There it is. I need lots of heat because the board is not separated. So it's gonna take a while to heat it. Right, so it's out. Right, let me lower the temp on the iron and replace these balls with a leaded solder. This is very small one. It looks like a Logica Prom, as in size. It's not the Logica Prom that I can guarantee. Alright, let's clean it tad. Alright, so let me prepare now a stencil and some solder. This is an iPhone 15 stencil, and let's get some 183 and dry it out. I'm always using the mechanic. Where is my tool? I'm gonna use 330 degrees and 30R for this reball, and then we're gonna use 350 40R to solder the chip back. Okay, I think this is dry enough. Just need a tiny bit. Let's see, do we have something that matches this one? Like this is too small. This is a bit too big. Do we have others? Yeah. We have this one. That seems to be just right. Okay. Perfect. Apply the solder. Go with 330 air. Excellent. Yeah, I'm gonna do another small reflow just to make sure the stencil was, well, in case the stencil was not properly calibrated, and the balls will now just follow their own path. Okay, perfect. Good. And now we can go back to our board. Put this aside here. Alright. So there's our mess. Right there. I'm gonna add a tiny amount of flux. Set the hot air to 350-40 air, and I remember saying that the orientation was against the audio IC, so I think it was like this. Am I wrong? I'm not even sure. Well, now the problem is to hold this in place because the space here is not, we don't have enough room for the tweezers. I don't even know how to do it, how to hold it in place. There's some orange crap from my reball area. This will be freaking complicated. I think it would have been better to remove one of the caps. And of course it's also burning my fingers. I think it has settled in place. It looks fairly good. Let's clean it up a bit. Okay, not bad. So let's see if we still have a short on any of the points that we had in the past. Let me open the schematic. 15, 13, 15 core. Okay, so one of the points is on the cap that I soldered. And it's this one in the middle. Yeah, so here's no short, it's 0.6. The other one is this large cap here, this one. Yeah, we have 0.3, no short. And another one is here. Yeah, no short, it's 0.5. And we have another one as the VDD main, which is right here. It's 0.3. So we're fine, I think. We're cool with that. Okay, so next thing, let's try to power this on and see if it boots. I'm not sure exactly for 15. I think the 15 Pro Max will not stay on with only the top board, but we can give it a try. I'm definitely interested in the current consumption. So how does this work? I think the board sits like that, and this would be, I think this would be the screen, right? Yeah. Where is the power button? Let me see. Is it the power button? Is it on this flex here? I don't know. Let me have a look here. Power button, flex, power button, flex. No, it's coming like this with the volume buttons, and it's, yeah, it's this one big here. So it's the big one coming here. So this would be the power. Okay, it's gonna be a bit difficult to tell which is which. Let me plug in the power supply. So that looks weird. Let's power on the power supply. I think we can add this too. And power supply, so you can see that too. Not this one, this view here. It should be on COM 4, open. Yeah, and power on. And this is not good. Why is it looking like that? Oh, it's booting without having... I didn't prompt it to boot, so it's just booting. That's interesting. Yay, so we have it's on. Unbelievable. Yeah. That is interesting. So I didn't prompt it to boot. I have touch. And apparently it stays on. That is weird. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the power supply, yeah, and I'm gonna start it again. It's just booting. This is interesting. I wonder if they are supposed to do that. And to cover the face of the kid. But yeah, the phone is on. I'm gonna wait and see what happens with the power consumption. Remember, the phone was just boot looping. It had times when it just power on, and then it just rebooted in a few seconds. It's a kid again. Right, so it doesn't seem to have any kind of a short. It just stays on. It is still on, as you can see. And it stays around 120 milliamps. I think it's not bad, huh? Okay, so I think we're good with that. I'm gonna turn off the power supply. And I'm gonna prepare the boards for reballing and putting them back together. I find it extremely weird that it just booted without being prompted to boot. I hope it's alright, and I hope this is the behavior of these models. It's my first time when I work on one, so yeah, that is interesting. Right, so first thing first, let's do this board, and then I'm gonna do the other. I need to replace my tip for this one. I need a bulky one. Okay. Power on. Okay, it's on. Let me put you on the microscope. I'm gonna just add flux, and then I'm gonna replace this solder with leaded solder, because it's gonna be easier to wick. I run as a 300 and it's too low. I'm gonna use 380. Let's see. Maybe 400 would have been better. Yeah, I'm gonna do 400. Okay, this is better. I'm moving very slowly. Remember, we don't have schematics. We have a sort of a board view, but we have no idea what parts are there. And I don't have an iCloud locked board for 15 Pro Max. I have one for 15, so that doesn't help. If we mess up one of the parts, we won't know what that was. and we're not gonna be able to replace it. So paying a lot of attention. It's a bit frustrating, but I think soon we're gonna have a new... We're gonna have... These boards will appear on market, and we're gonna have access to parts. Well, on the market, on the black market, of course. Apple will not ever sell parts for these phones. Okay, I got distracted by a call. One more step here. This bit. I think we're good. And now we can just wick it. Wick it. Mergeam convey. Sorry for that. Let's hope we don't bump any parts. Let me cut the wick. This is the part where we have worked on, right here. Oh, that seems very similar to a boost IC. I hope that the letter difference will not be a huge deal. But we never know. Yeah, and done. I'm gonna have a cigarette, then I'm gonna resume this, and we'll clean the board. Alright. Let me see. Can I open this light? It usually flickers. These are some bad LEDs. But that's good. Okay. There's something wrong with... Let me stop it. Alright, so it looks better. I'm gonna give it a bath here. Some IPA. Just to clean the flux. I'll be gentle here where I work on the chip. It looks good. I don't know if the flux got on the other side, but we're gonna clean it a bit. And now we can get some microfiber cloth and just dry this out. Alright. Use some hot air to eliminate the alcohol. So I think it looks fairly well. Of course there's no light. And now we can proceed in cleaning, in actually removing the solder from this one. So I'm gonna preheat it. I'm gonna set the heater to, I don't know, like 150. 150, and then it's about 20 off, so it will go to 120, I believe. Let's put it under the microscope because my eyesight is not very well. Very good. I lost the microscope. Alright. And I'm gonna add flux. Not too much, not too little. Just enough. Alright, and let's get the wick. Just wick this off. Here I'm not replacing the solder. I'm gonna wick directly this high melt solder. I don't like to replace the solder here because sometimes you get new solder on the interposer, and I don't like that. I'm doing the same for 12, 13, 14. Fucking incredible. Sorry for that. Okay, let me cut the wick. Right, so I think we're good. This is clean. And the timer on the heater is off also. So we can just clean the board afterwards. Right, let's use some Q-tip to clean the board, the interposer. This is extremely sticky. Incredible. Alright, so let's see now how we can reball this. Let's see how this tool looks like. Let's see the stencil. These are very thick compared to the other ones I have. This is for the Pro 15 Pro Max, this one. So I think this is for the US version. I'm not sure. Plus. Okay, this is a bit weird as it has no anchor point. Yeah, I think it's centered enough. And we have here, I think we have a cap for this one. This is quite nice because I hate how solder gets in there when I reball boards like this. So I think this would be this is a good idea to have. I'm gonna probably use that one on other phones. I'm definitely sure it's gonna work. And they also gave us here some tool to spread the solder. Wait, let's see. Like this. So this is not magnetic, and if I use this, you see it's gonna be very difficult to use because it's magnetic. So this is a good idea. It's something non-magnetic, and we can easily use that. Alright, let's prepare some solder. I'm gonna use the Mechanic 148 that I use for the other models. I'm gonna dry it up a bit, not very well, like I'm drying up the ones that I use for soldering chips. So I need this to be a bit on the moist side, but not very moist, not very dry. It's a bit difficult to set it up properly, so I'm just using it in the paper tissue. I think this is fine. Okay, let's grab some and see if we can spread it around. It's a bit difficult to work with this spreading tool because it's very small. It would have been nice if it had a longer handle. But we'll see later what we are coming up to with. I like to do this part because it's the most difficult one, so I'm always doing this part first, just to get rid of it. So this cap over the seam tray is very good idea. It's very handy. It's just this spreading tool being so small, it's a bit difficult to handle, and I think my paste is a bit dry. I would have liked it to be a bit on the wet side. I think the spread is good enough. Let me clean the micro tool. And let's see if we can lift this up. I don't know how. I think we are supposed to lift it, not to use it like that. I'm slowly lifting it. Yep. Let's see how it looks. Also, it's not bad. I said it was a bit too dry, but I really got all the pads, well, except one here. I don't know if that's ground or not, we're gonna see. Let me try to remove now this cap shield, whatever it is, above the seam tray, and to remove it without damaging my new balls. Good. Alright, so it's not bad. I like it. Let's put it on the heater. Okay, and we'll set it to 190 because this is 20 off, so it's gonna actually hit to 170. And we're gonna leave it here to heat up and see the balls forming. Should see them right here. Okay, I think you have a better view like that. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna clean this stencil. Not this one, this one. Gonna use lots of alcohol. It's good. Let me clean also this cap. Perfect. Where did I put the small tool? The small spreading tool? It's here. Okay, put it back here. Put the stencils back here. And I can see the balls are forming. My god, the magnets are so strong. So this is not bad, eventually. I recommend it. It's the AMOAE. It's good. So I have all the balls formed. I can remove the board from the heater. And while it is hot, I'm going to add some flux because it's gonna help with soldering the top board. Alright, so that's definitely a ground, but I can just measure it to make sure it is. Yeah, it's ground, so I don't care about that ball. Okay, so now the boards are prepared to be stuck together. I will wait for the heater to cool down a bit because it's still hot. It's like 150, so I'm gonna wait for it to go below 100 and then we'll put the boards and solder them back. I'm gonna pause the video here and resume. Okay. Okay, so we're below 100. We can now put the board back and put the top board above. Let me try to align this as good as I can. I think we're good. Start it again with 190 and we'll leave it until the boards fuse together. Okay, seems to be soldering back. Looks good. Gonna leave it 20-30 more seconds and then I'm gonna try to bump the board on the top. It should just bump like a chip. When you heat up the chip, it should just move and then get back into its own place while the solder is hot. Right, let's see. So we'll try it here. This corner, you see it? See how it comes back? Okay, I can try the other corner here down. Alright. Excellent. Okay, so now I'm gonna stop the heater. I'm gonna turn it back on, but just so we can see the temp, the heater is off. And we'll wait for the board to cool down. I'm gonna pause the video and get back when it's below 100. Right, so we're at 118. We are below the melting point of the semi-low melt solder that I use for the boards. Just remove the board. We can close this. Right, and while it's very hot, I need to handle this this socket here, this this one because it has a lot of flux in it. And I'm just gonna add some IPA, blow it away, then add more. Then blow it. Until it's very clean. It looks a bit better. So I think when I used the tweezer to remove the connector, I think I've bent this a bit. So I'm just putting it back. Okay, that's good. Let me do some more IPA there. Okay, and now I'm gonna take some microfiber cloth and just wipe the board all around. We want a nice clean board, no flux on either side. Okay, so I think we're cool. Let's have a look and see how it looks like. The connector has no flux on it, so it's good. And let's see the sides. Sides look good. This is a bit off here. Yeah, this side looks good. I don't really like how this looks here, but I can see connection between the top and the bottom. Do we have, how does the schematic look like? Do we have any known good connections? No. So that's if we look at the schematic, see here it's just grounds, so we're fine. Yeah, I think we can put this board back into the housing. And I don't know, maybe do a test. We first need to handle the connector on the back of the board. That is in. Let me get a screwdriver. And this one has a sort of a shield that comes like that. And it also has a screw that we need to screw here. While I was preparing my screw, I lost the shield. But it's gonna be back like that, and the screw, well, screw you. Screw comes here. Okay, so that is good. Now let's see what we can do about this, because we're gonna need to have the board like that. There's so many connectors that it's really annoying. Really annoying to fit this board back. Get back to your place. What's wrong with you? Am I missing one here? No. Okay, so that crap connector from the back is pushing the board, but that's no problem because we're gonna install the big screws. I'm gonna screw you too. So we have one here. Yeah, we have another one here. Fortunately, I don't have the passcode for this phone, and that's not nice, but we can test by putting a SIM card in it, because of course I forgot to request the passcode. It's no problem, I will handle it somehow. Okay, let's put also the small screw here. It comes right here. Oh my god, that's a long small screw. Alright, so I think we're fine. I need my microscope because my vision isn't what it was years ago. Alright, this one comes here. It's the power button, volume buttons. Okay. Let's take them one at a time. Connector for the 15. Let me see, do you have it? No, do you want it? Yeah. This is the new shit. Okay. Let me have you see the screen. So why is it doing that? And the phone is booting. The phone is freaking booting on the power supply. Why? Tell me why. Let me cover the face of whoever is gonna be here. So the phone is on. It says no SIM available, meaning that we're good. Let's try to turn it off. So I'm turning it off now.